how people move and the forces they create around that are what really interests me. So that's why I'm going to chat to you about that. We've taken on the terminology of complex knee injury here, primarily because ACL injuries are not the same. And this is, as you'll know, what you often battle with when you're at club level, because your player gets injured and then they want to be back in X number of months because so-and-so was back in this period of time. Let's have a look. And what I've done here is I've used an example. So this individual actually came to me post-ACL. I think they were about 18 months down the line, actually. And the issue that this individual had was that he felt like when he was getting into the penalty area and he had a one that he couldn't change direction quick enough, but also he couldn't slow himself down quick enough, and was getting ongoing issues around the knee.
What I'm going to go through today is what we do at Everton, quite a broad overview from on pitch mainly, how we attempt to keep our players fit. What is fit? Loads of different answers. I've asked a couple of people, what do you see fit as being? Some players, is it just how far someone can run? Or you can run the first in the game, you must be the fittest. Who doesn't look tired in games? He's always on the move. Or is it someone like he's never injured? I think there's a lot of different aspects to it. But for me personally, this isn't what Everton I've said, but then me personally, it's about players being available to dominate physically on the pitch, and not just in games, but throughout training week as well. And what we want to get with it. So this is just a little brief overview of like the schedule and the sort of detail that we're trying to go into every session is planned. We know when we're doing like shorter work, we know when we're doing bigger work, when the players are coming back in. But also probably it's the game schedule. We'll work around the game schedule in pre-season, making sure the lads are building up the minutes.
It says benchmarking players' return to performance. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, and I'm going to talk about a few other things as well. First of all, kind of want to understand what performance is, and for me, one of the most important things is that it's complex. To define what complex is for you, a car is complicated. It's not complex, there's a fairly straight line you can draw when it goes wrong, back through the mechanics to the part that failed. You can fix that part and you should make the car go again. Put that car into traffic, however, and it enters a complex system, which is what we're talking about, performance. And all I want you to do is stand in a line facing me, just along here. And if you can all stand one arm's length from each other. If you'll stand one arm's length from each other, and then I'm going to keep your arm out so you're almost touching. Or I'm going to ask the first person to step forward and everyone just maintain that distance. Maintain the distance from the person in front of you. One person moves, we all move. It's pretty simple, okay? Cause and effect, fairly direct. Now, if you just silently in your heads have a look around the group between the 6 of you, and all I want you to do is pick out, don't tell me, don't tell them, 2 other people in your head. Make a note of who they are. And now, within this space, I want you to move around so that you are 1 meter from both of those people. Okay? So, we had a pretty simple system at the start, cause and effect. This has been a relatively basic, complex system where everyone's interactions have dictated where everyone's ended up stood. And in simple systems, we're in the realm of kind of best practice, and there's kind of one easy, fairly simple way of doing things, and we've got checklists that can help us with that. And those things will be things that you're all involved in your environment, and that might be packing up all the gear to go to a game. It might be setting up your GPS system for the day. It's a fairly simple checklist. We do this, calibrating force plates. We do these things, we get a result.